श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सगणलिता श्रीशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णकरुणासिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौरङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरि वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. I am very happy to come to this place again. I had been here maybe a few years back, maybe 7 8 years back, I suppose. And we had a whole day session with different standards. I am here again to address you all, and you are in the 10th standard. I have been asked to speak something about focus. So, the focus or concentration comes when we know what we want to achieve. And not only we know what we want to achieve, we have a great desire to achieve it. See, everybody has desire, but the desire should be stronger. The problem is we want, but the desire to achieve what we want is not strong enough. That is the problem. So, what is the first thing in our life is to decide what you want. Make a decision. When you decide on what you want and develop the desire to achieve it, what makes a person flourish in his life or her life is desire. Because that is what is the difference between a living object or living person, a human, and an inanimate object, dead object. So what is the difference? Is desire. This chair is there. Do you think the chair has some desire? No, it doesn't have any desire. You have a desire. So just having many desires is not enough. You need to select what is the desire you have and develop the desire. What you want to achieve, that has to be developed. Otherwise, you will be doing so many things, but it will be only a waste of time. You will not be able to achieve anything in your life. Somebody wants to become a cricketer, have a desire, no problem, but work for it. Have a real desire for it. Not just, I want it, just because you want it, you don't get it. Because if to get something, you have to deserve it. Just having desire is not going to accomplish anything, you have to deserve it. The first thing to deserve is to have desire. But just having desire is not going to work. So you need to select what is your desire, develop so make the desire stronger and work for it. These are the only three things. Once I went to a school in Hyderabad, like we had a Rath Yatra in Hyderabad also. In many schools, in 75 schools we had Rath Yatra. And there, one of the schools I went and I asked one girl, also studying the 10th standard, what do you want to do in your life? No, you're already in 10th standard now. You're only 15, isn't it? And your parents have spent so much of money on you, have time on you. Okay, not only money and time, they have spent so much of, invested so much of faith in you, isn't it? That you're going to do something good in your life. It can be anything. Now, this is the time you have to realize 10th standard is a time, 9th and 10th standard is a time when you have to realize what you want to do in your life. You have to select. You cannot be still confused because in the next few months, you're going to decide whether you want to take mathematics or biology, or you want to take commerce or arts, or what you want to take up, and what you want to do. You want to do business, startup, or do you want to be an engineer or a doctor, or in which college you want to be after 12th standard? That you have to decide today. Don't wait. If you don't decide today, I'm telling you, your life will be in a mess after 2 years when you're in 12th standard. So sometimes people think that, students think, even the parents think, that they are children in the 10th standard. No. I would say when a boy or a girl comes to 9th standard, they are children in a college, adult in a school. They are no more children. They are adults. The Vedic system recognizes the adulthood at the age of 13 or 14 itself. Though the modern system, they say you're all children, you are no more children now. You are not a child anymore. Because the British, they wanted to destroy this country. That is why they addressed even those who attained the age of 17 and 18 also as children. But the Vedic system is not so. The Vedic system makes a boy or a girl understand that you are no more a child anymore because you are already 13. Okay, you are in 4th standard, 5th standard, you are a child. You misbehave, no problem, you will be excused. But you are no more a child. Though you are in a school, understand you are not in a school. 10th standard means no school, it is college. That is why in the new education policy, which is based on the Vedic system, Modi ji, our Prime Minister, he has put 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th, all four in a separate category called pre-university or college. It's a college, it is no more a school. So the system of having a school till 12th standard and making you understand, I'm in a school, I'm a child, I'm a kid, that was designed by the British to destroy this country so that the citizens, or we all students, will be still irresponsible. Because as a child you can be irresponsible, you have the right to be responsible. As a child you can still be naughty, isn't it? No problem. You can be joyful and playful. But that is only till 7th standard, that's all. 7th or 8th standard maximum. But once you are in the 9th standard, I'm telling you, you are not a child. You are answerable to every penny what your father is spending on you. Because they have invested so much of faith, so much of expectation that my daughter, after a few years, she will take care of me. She will be on her own feet. My son will do something good in his life and take care of us when I am old. How long I am going to work? The father is thinking like that because he is already, say, 45, isn't it? Approximately, since you are 15-year-old. Suppose these days the parents give birth to the child at a very late stage. Earlier they used to give birth at 21, 22, now it's like 28, 30. Now your father and mother, they are almost like around 42 and 45. And now it's not. They are no more young. Now they're going to be 50 in the next 5 years. And you want them to work hard and hard and hard till the age of 60, 65? When are you going to take up that responsibility? And that happens when you are prepared for it. At what age? At this age. That is the age when you are in the 8th standard, 9th or maximum 10th standard. So I come here just to remind you that you are not a kid, you are not a child. You are an adult now. Though according to the legal status, you may be still a child till the age of 30, 18, you may be juvenile, but that is a British concept, which was meant to destroy the world and destroy this country specifically. So you are now young men and you are young woman. You are not child. So for that, you have to decide. You may take advice, you may take information from your father, mother, teachers, uncles, aunts, and even so many other people who are around who want to help you. But decide on one thing. What is it, one thing? What you want to be. The time has come to take decision now. Don't be confused forever. If you're confused now, you'll be confused forever. Even after your graduation, you'll be confused because you're confused today. What is required at the particular time of your age, that has to be taken up. So what is required for you today is what? A decision, a responsible decision that what I want to be, what I want to become. And when you decide on that particular thing, what I want to become, then you increase the desire for it. Yes, I want to be pilot. Okay, very good. Do you know what it requires to be a pilot? Get that information. How much money your parents have to spend for that? Do you know that? Don't know. This is the age of information. So there is a lot of positive information and there is also a lot of negative information. And positive information is that information which helps you to take decision. And the negative information is a thing which delays your decision and makes you irresponsible. Now is a time where we are exposed to the entire world through one phone, mobile. And there you have two kinds of information. One is the positive information. Another is the negative information. There was one girl who was studying in the 11th standard. I asked, what do you want to become? Then she told, I want to become a lawyer. Do you know, I asked her, do you know what you are supposed to do after 12th standard? Which exam you have to give to become a lawyer? What is the entrance exam you have to give? She told, lawyer, no entrance exam is there to get into a law college. That is after graduation. I told, no, just check the internet. It was not a school program. She got the mobile from her father and checked out. What is the entrance examination which I had to give after my 12th standard to become a lawyer? She got the entire information. This is the positive use of the mobile and the internet. And now, when you use it for seeing anything, for watching anything or reading anything, which is not going to help you in earning money and taking care of your parents, that is called negative information. So you have to decide on what kind of information you have to get from the mobile. Even I also use the mobile, but make sure that I only use the mobile to get the positive information by which I can make my decision. So today I have come to tell you, now please decide, become serious on what you want to be in your life, what you want to become in your life, and get information and think about it seriously. Can I do it? Is it possible for me? If it is possible, how is it possible? So when you have decided and developed the desire, second point is about developing desire. You will read about those successful lawyers. You read about those successful engineers. You read about those who are successful, who have done successful startups. And then see, and you can develop desire. When you develop the desire, then act on it and study for it. Work hard for it. Somebody wants to have a restaurant, set up a restaurant. No problem, you can do that. But do you know what it takes to set up a restaurant? Get that information now. I went to a school a couple of years back where few boys were sitting together and they were discussing about the latest model of the sports car. Then I was just sitting behind. It was a break between one session and other session. So the boys were talking about the Ferrari and that and this and so many different sports cars. I just went and asked, how many of you would like to be a Formula One race driver? And they don't know, none of us. None of us, they were shocked with my question. Then I told how much time you wasted, because none of you are going to become a Formula One driver and take part in a competition, and you're discussing about the sports car which has no value. And I asked them, what do you want to become in your life? One told, I want to become a pilot. Then this boy told, I told, do you know how to become a pilot, what you're supposed to do? Then he told, then I have to do engineering. He told, oh, is it? Is it? You don't have to become an engineer to become a pilot. Oh, I was thinking like that. That is the problem. Did you get proper information about it? And you've been discussing about Formula One race, but you want to become a pilot, and you don't know what it takes to become a pilot. And you're in illusion. Got it? Huh? So this is the time. Every second you waste in taking a decision, you will be confused throughout your life. So this is where the decision making comes first. Without making a decision, you cannot be focused. Like for example, you have a bow and an arrow, and you are not decided where to shoot. Can you be focused? You cannot be focused. In the same way, you have the bow and arrow now. You have the ability. You have the intelligence. What you're supposed to do is just decide and be focused on that particular decision. The more you delay the decision, I'm telling you, the things are not going to be so easy for all of you or any one of us. I'll tell you, when I was in 9th standard, at that time there was no internet, there was no mobile. Can you listen to me? Yeah. There was no mobile, there was no internet. Then I was wondering, what should I do in my life? Then in our house, we used to get newspapers. At that time, newspaper was the only information, and TV was there, but not so much of information to get. So we used to get one newspaper, but I told my father, can you help me with getting 5 newspapers? He told, why? Because I want to read and get information and find out what it takes to crack IIT. So then I used to get the newspapers, I used to read them. At that time, I got to know there's one tutorials which gives the coaching for IIT in a small town, small village. But if you have scored 90 and above, they give the material free of cost. 90 plus. So then I had my marks, I had sent. Then I used to get that material by post and to answer it and then send them back. In this way it went on. I started preparing for IIT from when? When I was in 9th standard. It is not somebody coming and giving coaching. It is your desire. I just gave an example. Like that there will be hundreds and thousands of examples. All the successful people in this world, they had a burning desire. They had an intense desire. So this is the time to be focused. You have to have the desire. If you don't have desire, time will go. Sometimes people say, I am doing time pass. As if the time will not pass if he doesn't pass. Isn't it? Any other time will pass, isn't it? Whether you pass the time or don't pass the time is going to pass, isn't it? People say, hey, time pass hai, मैं time pass कर रहा हूँ. अच्छा, if you don't do time pass, the time will not pass? It will pass. Definitely going to pass. So don't do time pass. If you want to have pastime, don't do time pass. Pastime means enjoy your life. Enjoyment of life doesn't come by time pass. Pastime comes by utilization of time. So anyhow, I'm not going to speak much about this subject. I have given the seed, a 3-point formula. Number 1, decide, increase the desire on to achieve what you decide upon. And number 3 is act on it. These are the 3 points. If you implement in your life today, and I'll be seeing you somewhere in the world after a few years as a successful person. So I stop here. If you have any questions, please do ask. Because it's more important that I answer your questions and rather than I go on speaking whatever I want. It is good that I speak what you want rather than I speak what I want. So you have a mic. Anybody who raises the hand would get your mic with you so that you can ask your questions. Yes. Just raise your hands.
Yes, anyone has to ask any questions?
When I was in the 10th standard, I had one question to my teacher. The teacher told, yes, what is your question? I asked my teacher, I want to study engineering. I want to study engineering. And now in the entrance exam in my engineering, because ultimately what matters is cracking IIT. It doesn't matter how many marks you get in 12th standard. Now I asked, why should I study social studies in my 10th standard? Is it of any value? Isn't it? I'm wasting my time. She told, no, you should study. I did not ask whether I will not study or not study. I will study or not study. I told, what is the use? She had no answer for it. In the same way, you have to ask yourself, the thing what I am doing, the words which I am speaking, is it of any use? Then only I will be useful. If I do something useful, I will be useful. Otherwise, how can I be useful? And if you are not useful, nobody cares for you. Nobody cares. Who cares? Okay. So please ask questions. Yes. Everybody is looking behind. Oh, who is the person? Why can't?
Who wants to ask? Raise your hands.
Why can't you be that person? Yes, behind there is one girl who wants to ask me. Those who look behind, they are not leaders. Those who look ahead, they are actual leaders. Yes. Yeah, let us hear her. Yeah.
As you said, you're from Merchant Navy, you are an ex-Merchant Navy officer.
Yeah.
And you're like, I want to go in Merchant Navy myself. It is hard and it is certainly not like really possible, but I just want to know like what it takes. I know about IMU, CT and stuff, but
Okay.
some advice about going into that field.
Yes.
Can you please provide?
I passed out from DMAD, which is known as MERI now, Marine Engineering Research Institute, Calcutta. Please sit down.
Yes.
At that time, when I passed out in 1994, and in the 1995, that is the first time our college started taking girls in that particular field. Earlier, there were no girls in Merchant Navy. Now, there are many girls also in Merchant Navy. And you said that it is a tough life. Actually, every profession has its own pros and cons. There will be something good and there will be something tough also. Not bad, but tough. Every profession has its own. It is known as occupational hazards and occupational difficulties. So one thing about Merchant Navy is you have a lot of free time for yourself. You work for 8 hours and there is nobody to disturb you. And other 16 hours You can read many books. And that is the time. Can you listen to me? Hare Krishna. Can you listen? No? These things nobody is going to teach you, isn't it? Listen. So at that time, that is the time when I studied the Bhagavad Gita and the Bhagavatam 8 hours a day. Because that was a free time for me. You just do your work and then nobody to disturb you. Just imagine in Mumbai you are staying in a very nice house, but still you are studying, a brother or sister comes and disturbs you. Or all of a sudden you'll find your mother and father are fighting with each other. So many distractions are there. So life is not tough, but at the same time, there are some tough things. For months together, you had to be away from family, isn't it? So whatever you do in life, life is full of sacrifice. What did I say? Sacrifice. And we have to learn to sacrifice. If you want to achieve something good in your life, what is the first thing you should learn? Sacrifice. And what is the meaning of sacrifice? To give up something what you like, that is called sacrifice. If you don't give up something what you like, you will never be successful in life because you have never sacrificed. All the great personalities, they were successful because they sacrificed. Sacrifice means what? To give up something what we like. And it requires practice. It requires a lot of practice. It starts from simple things. Now, you have a box of sweets and you like a sweets lot. Now, what happens? Your neighbor, couple of children come to your house. Now, what do? You like the sweets, but you give those sweets to them. Small things. If you train your mind to sacrifice, that will be the success for your life. Life means sacrifice. You see, soldiers, those who want to join the army or the navy or the air force, after your 12th standard, you give one entrance examination called NDA, National Defense Academy. And then it is a very wonderful thing that you get a uniform, you're trained, but you have to do sacrifice. What is sacrifice? You cannot be at home and get military training because your mother is cooking and feeding you 10 times a day. There it is not like that. But at the same time, you will get the pride of defending the country. That pride, what you're going to get of defending the country, comes with a sacrifice. So whether it is merchant navy or NDA or any field, life means sacrifice. If you don't learn to sacrifice, you have no life. Life is equal to sacrifice. Just imagine how much sacrifice your parents are doing for you. There are some families, they are not earning much and they do so much of sacrifice so that they can pay your school fees. The same money they could have used for buying a better house, maybe better dress. Your mother would have used that money for buying a better dress. Maybe your father would have used to buy a better car. Father would have used to better buy clothes. But they are paying your school fee. Is it not a sacrifice? Understand, life is a sacrifice. If you learn to sacrifice small things, then you will be more successful. Okay. So more questions? Yes.
Hello, sir. As you are a Navy Marine officer, so why did you decide to take sannyas?
Good question. For that, you should know. Just listen, very interesting question. Listen. For that, you should know what is sannyas. Many people think Sannyas means giving up. Just very, very important topic. Many people think that sannyas means to give up. I don't know how many of you know the basic of Bhagavad Gita. In the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna wanted to give up, isn't it? He wanted to give up fighting. He wanted to go to the forest. Bhaiksham apiha loke. Let me go to the forest and then live my life by begging. Now, Arjuna wanted to take sannyas. Then Krishna spoke the Bhagavad Gita and told Arjuna, it is your duty to fight. Now tell me, what does Bhagavad Gita teach us? The Bhagavad Gita teaches not to take sannyas. That is the teaching of Bhagavad Gita. Because first Arjuna wanted to take sannyas. And what did Krishna do, Arjuna? He told not to take sannyas, do your duty. Now, going one step ahead, sannyas should not be understood as giving up duty, giving up responsibility. Sannyas means to give up attachment, not your work, not your responsibility. Now, exactly opposite happens to those who don't study the Bhagavad Gita. They give up responsibility and then get attached to the results, which you are not going to get. There are two things here. One is responsibility and work. The other one is what? Results. Phala. Result. And now, what does Krishna teach? To accept responsibility and give up attachment to results. And what we do without studying the Bhagavad Gita, we give up responsibility and work and get attached to result. Isn't it? Now, as a student, why are you coming to the school and this class? So that you can study. That is your responsibility. And now what we do, we give up our responsibility of study and get attached to the results. How will you get good results? Tell me. So sannyas doesn't mean to give up your work or responsibility. Sannyas means to give up what? Attachment. What is it? Attachment. The problem is not work. The problem is attachment to the result. So here Krishna told Arjuna that you take sannyas from attachment, not from your responsibility. Now, if I have taken sannyas, why I should come to your school? What I got to do with your school? I should have stayed in the forest. I should have just stayed in the temple. You attend only one school, but I've been to more than 100 schools in the past couple of months. In Hyderabad, every day I went for 5 schools to do the Rath Yatra and then spend the entire day with the children answering their questions and giving them knowledge, teaching them. So, do you think I have taken sannyas? No, I have not taken sannyas. Yes, I have taken sannyas means give up. Sannyas means to give up. What did I give up? Attachment. Sometimes when I go to school, then I am welcomed, honored very nicely. In all the schools I went to Hyderabad, then the watchman did not allow me. He said, hey, Swamiji, Then I told, what happened? I was invited by the principal. And I told, then the old watchman, he called 3-4 watchmen, and they did not allow my car to enter inside at all. So it was insult, but I was sitting and chanting because I was not attached that I should get honor everywhere. And later on, after half an hour, I was just waiting in the car. Then all of a sudden, the principal, the whole management person, they all came and then, oh, please forgive. We could not inform the watchman properly because it's a very big school. And all of a sudden, honor came. So it doesn't matter whether you're honored or dishonored. That is called detachment. Sannyas means detachment, it doesn't mean give up. So actually, I am more in the society than you are. You may be having how many friends? Maybe 100, 200 maximum, maybe 10, 15, maybe 100. But I have many friends. I get so many people. I attend more parties than you attend. Maybe you attend only one party a month. But I have party every day. Every day I go to somebody's house, some place where I speak something, eat something, and then do some kirtan. So much of responsibility. So, being a marine engineer, I did not take sannyas from responsibility, but I chose a different field because it was more convenient and more close to my nature. My nature is to teach. That is why I took the profession of teaching the Bhagavad Gita, profession of protecting the Vedic culture, the Sanatana Dharma, Vedic education. So I took up this profession. That is the difference. It is not I gave up. Like sometimes we have an IIT graduate and he gets into IIM and takes up marketing, giving up his computer science. So does that mean that he has given up responsibility? He studied computer science, but he found that it is better for him to do marketing. So that is why I just took it up, isn't it? In the same way, I thought it is better for me to give up this merchant navy and then teach Bhagavad Gita because that is where my expertise is there. Not only expertise, that is the requirement of the society. There are thousands and thousands of marine engineers, but how many are there in this world who go to every school and teach them the textbook of life called Bhagavad Gita? You are studying so many textbooks, but what about the textbook of life? If you don't study mathematics textbook, you will fail in mathematics. If you don't study science textbook, you will fail in science. If you don't study the textbook of life, yes, what happens? If you don't study mathematics textbook, you will fail in mathematics. If you don't study the textbook of social studies, you will fail in social studies. If you don't study the textbook of any subject, you will fail in a particular subject. If you don't study the textbook of life, what will happen? Fail in life. So I took up the responsibility of teaching students the textbook of what? Life. So that all of you and all of us can pass in the exam of life, which comes every second. Every minute you have to face the exam of life, and that can be passed only when you study the textbook of life, that is the Bhagavad Gita. Got it? So we stop here. Or if you have any burning question, one last question we can take. Yes. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yes, so you have still another question. Okay, no problem. Yeah. Go ahead. So all of you are thinking, oh, why are you asking this question? You could have gone out. Oh, no problem. When you ask question, knowledge increases.
Sorry, but me again. I wanted to know, what is the meaning of spirituality and what is given in the Vedic culture about this, and also about the adulthood.
Very good
I asked
question.
that question to many people, but never got an answer. That was
Very good question. What is the meaning of spirituality? Okay. Very good question. Now, you are sitting on a chair. Shh, listen. You are sitting on a chair. Is the chair feeling the pain? Is the chair feeling the pain?
No.
Why?
Non-living.
Why?
Non-living.
Because it doesn't have life. You feel the pain because you have life. Somebody sits on your lap You feel the pain because you have life. Because why you have life? Because within the body there is something called soul. What is it? Soul. Huh? What happens when you leave the body? Who leaves the body at the time of death? The soul leaves. So now you have body and you have soul. Isn't it? Now, for the body to be happy, you have to eat food, isn't it? Huh? We are feeding the body, but are we feeding the soul? And that is why we are unhappy. Spirituality means feeding the soul. Spirituality means what? Feeding the soul. Now, for that, you should know what is soul. What is soul? Which makes our body alive. The soul is very simple to understand. It is part and parcel of Krishna. It is part and parcel of Krishna. It means Mamevamsho Jivaloke Jivata Sanatanaha. We are all part and parcels of Krishna. So feeding the soul means feeding the soul with Krishna consciousness. And in this age of Kali, spirituality boils down to just one line, chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. When you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. So when you chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, you are actually feeding the soul, and that is called spirituality, especially in this age of Kali. Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya for this International Society of Krishna Consciousness ISKCON, when he went to America, there nobody has heard the name of Krishna and nobody studied Bhagavad Gita. They were all into drugs. And what happened? Srila Prabhupada went there and then made them chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. They gave up all the bad habits because of the strength of spirituality. So in the age of Kali, spirituality means to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and by doing so, you are feeding the soul and you are making the soul happy, by which actually you can become happy. So that's called spirituality. So we stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.